What's up, everybody? It is your boy Brandon. We back with another video. I told you I'm going to be dropping them. There's some things I've been saving up to do, some questions that I always get asked on my social media, so I'm taking the time out to go through a lot of these things, and we got a pretty deep conversation today, so let's go ahead and get into it. You know, one question that I get asked a lot is, why do I do so much on location photography? How did I get so good at on location photography? Why did I choose to be an on location photographer? Why am I so invested on being an on location photographer versus investing so much time in being a studio photographer? What is it about being an on-location photographer that I just love and adore and teach about and critique about? All right, so I'm hoping I can answer these questions. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. You know, over my tenure, over my decade of being a photographer, so far I have been very blessed to see a lot of different kinds of photography. Weddings, events, maternity, shooting all these different types of genres. It's all different. They're all different types of beasts in itself. However you shoot it, how you shoot it, where you shoot it makes a world of a difference. And people don't think it really makes a difference how or where you shoot it, but it actually really does. There's something about creating that I just can't get over when it comes to being outside. But today, hopefully I can answer one of these really main common questions that I get. So I'm going to give you my top 5 answers to being an on-location photographer and what I think and what I feel and what I've learned for myself and how I teach others and what it really means to me. These are in no specific order, but as I was thinking about this and then as it was coming to me, I was writing them down so I can make sure I can kind of regurgitate it to you guys, all right? Number 1, the authentic and unique backdrops. That's the first thing. On location offers natural, dynamic, and varied environments that just can't be replicated in a studio. It is what it is. Real world settings, whether it be urban, rural, or natural, it can be formative, it can be anything. All of these things really add authenticity and storytelling depth to images. This is just something that you cannot duplicate really in a studio. It don't matter whether it be the street lights, the bridges, the grass, like all of these things that really come together to help tell the story, to help you get the shots. All these elements that add to the shot is just something I absolutely love about being outside and being on location. Even when a lot of my clients come to me and they say, hey, do you have a studio? I'll say yes, and then they tell me, and we start to talk and we start to collaborate, and they're telling me about their idea and how they see themselves, and I'm like, you know what, that idea might be better off if we do it here or we do it there, or depending on what it is, because as they're telling me their vision, I can see it, but I can see it in a more uncontrolled space, but it's going to add so much more depth to the story and to the shot that we're trying to get, versus having to create your own in a studio that's more controlled and have you. But like I said, it just doesn't add that authenticity to the shot that you would get if you're shooting outside. Number 2, more engaging for my clients. I've noticed this a lot. Let me explain it to you. Many clients feel more relaxed and natural in familiar or meaningful locations, i.e. like their home, their favorite park, their city, rather than in a stage studio setting. This is the type of stuff that can lead to more genuine expressions, more emotions, more laughter, more fun, more collaboration, just more of a relationship that the photographer and the client is trying to establish with each other. But being in those type of settings can just really add more energy, more everything I've noticed I've noticed, we still have that camaraderie, right? We still have that connection because that's really important no matter where you shoot at, right? But I do notice, like in a studio setting, my clients, my models are they're more focused, they're more on point, they're more key because they know in a studio setting that everything relies on you. All right, you can't hide behind no bushes, no trees, no light poles, no concrete, no grass, you can't rely on a lot of that stuff to help you in getting that shot. It's gonna studio shots, really, you have to really know how to bring it and how to model when you're in the studio because you don't have those extra elements to add to the shot and to kind of take off some of that, that nervousness about you, because you can use these props over here, you can use this, you can use that, and it's gonna help you to get that shot right as a model. But when you're outside and the wind is blowing, the sun is beaming, everything is just nice, and y'all just out there and you listening to everything, like it just really adds more like feel, more energy. We go outside, we get it. It's a difference between having that outside than having that inside. And I love that feel. I love getting in that zone. Like outside, that it can't be duplicated. That's just something that cannot be duplicated. So that's my second thing. The third reason why I just love this is probably one of the most important. It's flexibility and creativity. Let me explain. Shooting on locations encourages adaptability and creative problem solving. And I'm going to come back to that because that's super, super important. Everything from changing light conditions to weather to unexpected elements can lead to unique, spontaneous shots that really wouldn't happen if you was in a controlled studio. And I did a video about this before, right? This is being in a controlled environment versus an uncontrolled environment, right? So the first thing I want to talk about is adaptability. When you are outside, you really have to adapt to the environment and everything that surrounds you. I mean, you have to be so focused and put yourself in a situation and in the mindset to be like, you know what, I got this. This is happening right now, but I just gotta roll with it. This is going on right now, the wind is blowing, or this is, these people walk, but there's nothing I can do about it. I gotta roll with it. I gotta adapt to it. That type of mentality and that type of practice, especially if you're consistent with it, all right? After a while, you're gonna be like, oh, that ain't nothing. Come on, girl, let's get this. Because you're so used to adapting to any type of circumstance and anything that comes up, and there's nothing that you can handle if you're a photographer. But if you don't have that type of attitude, it's really going to affect you, all right? The second thing that I talked about earlier, I said creative problem solving. Outside, there's a lot of things that can happen. Your light can go out, something can happen, something can fall, the wind can be going, the sun can be really high or can dip really low. It can start raining. There's so many uncontrolled things that you have no control over as a photographer when you're outside. But changing light conditions that I talked about and any other unexpected elements, they can definitely lead to a good shot. But they can also train your mind and train you as a photographer. There's training and there's elements to this that you just don't get when you're only in the studio, when you do a lot of studio stuff. You go outside and things like this happen. You don't know how to fix it. You don't know what to do. I've seen people and I've seen photographers, something goes wrong and it just throws off their whole entire mood if they're outside. They don't know how to recover from it. They don't know how to fix it. And it just, not only does it throw a wrench in your photo shoot, but now you got the models, you got clients looking like, what we gonna do? You gonna fix that? Like, I don't know what we're gonna do, whatever. And if you are one of those people who quickly get flustered in this game, being a photographer, especially on location, is going to be a very, very hard problem for you. So with consistency and always being outside and just being one and being adaptable to everything around you and being consistent with it, I feel that especially being outside and on location, it just challenges you more out being outside than it does being inside a studio. There's just things that you cannot experience as a photographer that out in a studio that you experience outside. Not only that, did you know that being outside really taught me a lot about my camera settings, a lot of different things, because if something happens off, with the light conditions, weather and everything dipping up and down all these years, it's so easy for me now. If something's happening, I know exactly what to change. Up, that's dipping. Got to change my ISO. Got to change my shutter. Up, sun is dipping down. Sun is raising back up. I'm changing this. I'm changing that. I'm changing my my flash power. All these things to try to keep my shots consistent, right? But a lot of times you put somebody in a studio who's never really shot outside, and the stuff starts doing like this, and they start getting those ugly shots and weird shots, like why my stuff like that? That's because you ain't had to train. You ain't been conditioned to be outside and what we do. Your mind, you don't know your camera, you don't know your equipment that well for it to be changing on a dime like that. You gotta condition your mind, you gotta condition your skills, you gotta condition everything about yourself to really be outside and on location, any place, anytime, anywhere, in what we do. And that's one of the reasons why I love being an on location photographer, because it feels like I can adjust to anything that happens at any time and continue with my photo shoot like nothing ever happened. We don't miss a beat. But that comes with being conditioned. That comes with those challenges as a photographer, especially if you're a flash photographer. Taking that flash outside and dealing with those conditions and being able to change on a whim and being able to not miss a beat, that comes with being conditioned. That comes with consistency. That comes with doing this thing daily, over and over and over and over, and experiencing all different types of elements, different type of lighting conditions, anything. And that's just something that you don't get in the studio, which is why I love being outside. Number 4, natural light opportunities. Now, by rule, pretty much we're all natural light photographers, right? While studio lighting is controlled, many photographers prefer the organic, look of natural light, right? Sometimes natural light is beautiful. I love it. Golden hour, diffuse, overcast skies, dramatic shadows. All of these things can really enhance images in ways just artificial lighting can't sometimes, right? There are situations where I don't use my flash. There have been times where I've been like, you know what? Natural light just looks so much better right now, especially when you get that, when you get that really nice sunset glow and it really hits your model or your client just absolutely perfectly in a way that just lighting really can't light. It really looks amazing. But again, back to what I was saying earlier, that natural light look is just something that can't really be recreated in the studio as well. And like I said, by rule, like all photographers, before I even became a flash photographer, like one of the first things I started to learn is just shooting in just a natural light environment, how light behaves, and how to use the sun and a lot of different things until I really got into flash. So natural light is just one of those things that will always be pretty much in all of us, right? And my friends, my Brennan Coles faithfuls, that brings us to our last one of the day. Number 5, variety and adventure. Oh my God, variety and adventure. Shooting in different locations keeps the work exciting and inspiring. See, one thing about being outside, no 2 shoots are the same. No 2 shoots look the same. Just encouraging continuous creative growth is what being an on-location photographer is all about. Continuous creative growth. There's always something, like when I go outside, I'm always figuring out ways and areas in different ways to get a shot or to shoot. Oh, I want to go over here. I want to create something over here. I want to create something over here. I want to create something down there. I want to create something by the water. I'm just always looking to find something and do something creative outside and, use my own light to create something amazing. And I absolutely love it. And then I love the challenges that comes with it. Okay, she's gonna be up that high. How do I get the shot? She's gonna be down in the water. She's gonna be here. She's gonna be there. Okay, the sun is coming down. Okay, it's nighttime. Now I gotta see what I can do with this 1 light or 2 light setup. I wanna throw a little color out there. I'm doing this all on location, creating the shot. And that's why I like variety when it comes to being on location. That's why I love the adventure of going places and doing things, getting different themes, colors, contrasts. I love it. There's nothing like being an on-location photographer. So hopefully I answered that question for you, and hopefully that will encourage you guys to get out there and shoot more, create more, and do things more. This is the biggest reason why I love what I do. And this is what you see the most on my channel. Yes, I throw some studio shoots in there when I can, just to give you my take on studio shoots and what I like to do in the studio. I still like doing some creative things in the studio. But man, let me tell you, as far as a photographer, as far as learning, as far as adaptability, as far as challenges, as far as shooting in a uncontrolled environment where you do not have control, it builds character, it builds everything. It brings you closer to your equipment. It really challenges you as a photographer. And that's why over the years I invested so much time and effort and energy in really learning about lighting, flash, modeling, a lot of things that can really affect you if you go outside and you don't know what you're doing. So I will encourage all of you, get outside more, shoot outside more, create outside more, because at the end of the day, it's only going to make you a better photographer. It's your boy Brandon signing off with another one. We back, y'all. Peace out. Boom.